Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. A very warm welcome to you all. My name is Ankita, and I am from the Marketing and Business Development Department, partly with recruitment. And it's an opportunity and pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar, a highly interactive webinar of the University of Manchester Middle East Center. I have a very lovely panel, a very enthusiastic panel with me on this webinar, and very soon I'm going to introduce all of them to you. I can see people are still joining us, and I have to be conscious of the time as well. So a quick highlight of what we are going to do in this entire session of an hour is we will start with the basics of a couple of basic introduction about who we are, what we offer, and then very quickly we will open up the platform to interact with the panel out here. Feel free to put your questions in the chat box. I'll try to pick up those questions, as many as I can, and I'll have the panel to speak about it. This is your session, this is your interactive session. Try to make the most out of it. So let's talk about some facts about Manchester. Um, of course, it is a very known city, which is in fact the second largest city in England, very well known for its vibrant cultural scenes. Many greatest musicians and artists have come from Manchester, in case if you have heard of Oasis for that matter. The audience, if you have an interest in sports, which I bet many of you might be having, you know the two largest, world's biggest football clubs are from Manchester. I'm talking about Manchester City, Manchester United. Not just that, the city is known for its entrepreneurial spirit. So we have it is a birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. Graphene was invented here, and there is more to this city. The first atom was split, which is a unique nuclear physics Nobel attempt, and the first computer was also built here. Overall, the city is full of innovation and creativity at its forefront. So, what is the University of Manchester all about? Though this university needs no formal introduction, and I'm sure those who have joined us and if you have been interacting with um, your program advisors, you must have heard about us. But for those who are joining us for the first time, it is an important information for you. The university was established in 1824. Yes, I'm talking about almost 200 years old legacy, which is maintaining its quality education from last 200 years. The university is ranked 27th position globally, 8th in the entire Europe, and 6th in UK, as per QS World University Ranking 2021. And not just that, the university is also a home for 25 Nobel Prize winners. So this defines the quality of research and the education we carry forward along with our students and alums. Talking about the Manchester Alliance Manchester Business School, the MBA ranking, we are 30th on a global ranking, 10th in Europe, and 4th in UK as per Financial Times ranking 2021. Not just that, the university also, the MBA also has a triple accreditation by Association of AMBAs, AACSB, and EQUIS. This is about the University of Manchester as a whole, but there is more to talk about the Middle East Center. We are successfully walking in our 15th year of establishment, and we are very proud of it. We got established in 2006 in Dubai. So far, we have more than 1,800 graduates from MBA, and we have supported more than 2,800 students across. The Middle East Center is a home for 100 plus nationalities, which reveals the kind of diversity we carry within our student and alumni base. Dubai, the Middle East Center, is one of the international centers of the entire network. The University of Manchester has 6 international centers altogether. We have it in Manchester, we have it in Dubai, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Sao Paulo. So these are the various international centers which are ensuring that they pass on the quality education required by the students of that respective region. So this was a very quick introduction about who we are and where we belong to, what are our roots, considering the university offering the MBA program and the other higher education program. So let's talk about what is it that we offer to our students whom we are referring at the moment. We offer MBA, Master of Business Administration. So the most sought after program is the Manchester Global Part-time MBA, which has 2 intakes in every academic year, January and July. The admissions are open for the July intake at the moment. We do have Kelly Manchester Global MBA, which is 1 intake in a year, that is July, and for which the admissions are up and running. And this is a joint venture of Kelly Business School, the renowned Kelly Business School, and the Manchester Business School. Apart from the MBA program, we do offer Master of Science program, part-time MSc Real Estate, and part-time MSc Financial Management with 1 intake every year, which is the September intake. Not to mention, we are accepting application for these programs as well. We have an exclusive program for people who are from the educational industry. That is part-time MA Educational Leadership in Practice program. This is again 1 intake every year, and which is September. A quick revisit to all the programs which are showing up on your screen at the moment. These are all part-time blended learning programs which we offer, and that's, which means it is a combination of online and couple of face-to-face interaction classes. We will head on to that details eventually when we are talking about it, and I will be moving further because I am really excited to start my interaction with the panel, which is there with me after having spent their entire work schedule and ensuring that their study part has been taken care of as well, because they are the students of the University of Manchester Middle East Center. They are with me to share their experience with you all, the audience, which is a mix of those who have taken up a decision of going ahead and doing an MBA with us and are curious to know more about it, and those who are still contemplating on the fact whether or not is it a good time, is it the right decision, am I the one who can do an MBA, and likewise. So I'm sure you all have joined this session with a lot of such questions of who, when, and why, which I will encourage you to bring forward as an interaction source, and we will be taking it up individually for our panelists to address. So moving on, I take this opportunity to introduce my panel to you, and let me start with Rachel Hensey. Hi, Rachel. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening for this session. Allow me to give a quick brief introduction about you to the audience. Rachel is an executive manager of Hennessy LLC, slash, she is an entrepreneur in herself. Brief about her, Rachel graduated university to begin working in the banking sector in the UAE with Lloyd's TSB and the HSBC, before eventually moving into the family business in 2013. Hennessy LLC is a general construction company with interior fit out, swimming pool, and landscaping divisions. Her role within the business has been extensive, heading up the marketing and business development sectors, being heavily involved in the high level strategic operations, handling the management of the pool and landscaping division, project management, and handling certain financial functions. The Manchester MBA program, which she has taken up, has been key for her in developing her role and driving forward the business. Welcome on board, Rachel. It is indeed exciting to have you with us this eve.
Yes, thank you for having me. And yes, it's good to be here.
Thank you. I'll come back to you, Rachel. Allow me to move forward and introduce Mr. Syed Mirza, CFO with Al Faris Food Industries in Riyadh. Hello, Mr. Syed. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much for this chance. Thanks all.
I take your permission to introduce a bit about your profile to the audience, and I'm sure they all are keen to know about it as well. Syed has double graduate degrees in commerce from Punjab University, Pakistan, and the other in sustainable performance management from Manchester Metropolitan University. He has also done CIMA, Advanced Diploma Qualification in Management Accounting. His overall work experience is extensive. It's more than 25 years in accounting and finance, and he has worked with brands like Unilever Arabia previously. It is indeed exciting to have you, Said, on board with us today, and there is a lot we are going to learn from you and from your experience so far.
Thank you. It is a pleasure. Thanks.
Appreciate. And last but not the least, I have Monica with me. Hi, Monica. A very good evening to you. Monica is on mute, I guess.
Hi everyone, good
Hi.
afternoon.
Monica, I'll take a quick minute to introduce you to the audience. Monica is the finance project manager for the GCC region with Intertech. Monica is our GMBA Finance Accelerated Program student who has completed all her modules and is now waiting for her degree award classification. So she is leading the race of her MBA journey amongst all. Her professional experience transitioned her from working within the finance department of a government body into the private sector, working with large multinational companies in Europe and the Middle East in various industries such as FMCG, oil and gas, and automotive. Her primary focus is financial and business analysis. She has managed and completed multiple projects across the GCC region in evaluating companies' profitability, business restructuring and turnaround, cost optimization and operational improvement, costing and pricing strategies. Whoops, Monica, that's quite a lot. And I am sure this evening is going to be very, very interesting having you on board. Thank you so very much for joining us, Monica.
Thank you for the introduction and pleasure to be here with everybody.
Brilliant. So here it is. As I said, if any one of you have joined us late in the audience, we have the three students with us who are the current students of yeah, who are. Am I audible?
Yes.
Brilliant, fantastic. So for those who have joined us late, feel free to leave your messages in the chat window and I will be picking them up one by one. And here I begin my set of questions. Probably I would like to start with, I have a lot of questions to be asked. And as I said, I'm super excited to be here because there's a lot to learn. And I'm sure the audience, once they start hearing you out, they will come out with their own set of questions, which will be of interest to them as well. So my first question goes to Rachel. Rachel, you started your education with us in January 2020 intake.
Yes.
I'm very keen to know because that was the time when we used to call it as normal. And then everything turned because of COVID coming in. So I want to hear from you, your experience. What was your real motivation of doing an MBA when you thought of joining us? And did you feel uncertain when the COVID struck the global market?
Yes, yeah, it seems so long ago now when I joined. We call it BC, don't we, before COVID. But back then, when I was obviously planning on doing my MBA, my biggest motivation was I'd been looking for a number of years for a way to grow and develop myself through some form of postgraduate education. So I was doing a lot of research into very different degrees of what would be the right one. I eventually, well, I realized that my role within the family business, I had a very broad and a very wide-ranging role. As you mentioned in the introduction, I was getting involved in so many different activities like the marketing, business growth, strategy, the project management, finance. So I eventually decided that an MBA would be the perfect opportunity to give me a really good understanding of all of these different areas I was already getting involved in, and it would help develop my knowledge of all of these different business areas. So for me, I felt it was the best qualification I could take at the time. And for anyone, I really do think the MBA is the best way to get an understanding of the entire business realm. So that was obviously my biggest motivation for looking for an MBA. And 1 year on from that, I still stand by that. When I look at how I've been able to apply this over the past year, I think my understanding in all of these areas has really grown. I think I perform better at work, and I'm able to just really stretch myself. And I've seen my role and my quality of life in work really grow through the MBA program, because like I said, I'm just understanding all these different realms of business a lot better. And another thing I found as well is, for example, I'd sit in talks with my general manager. He's a very talented, very good man. And a way that I found the MBA helped me to sit with the general manager was that I could talk to him suddenly about finance. And he specialized in construction, so he didn't understand finance. So that was for me a really, really good tool that I could now step outside of construction and understand the financial impact of the business. So I'd say for anyone, even if your role within your company is quite specialized, an MBA is still a brilliant, brilliant qualification to have, because it will help you step outside of your role and understand how all of these different factors that you don't normally think about, how they impact your business as a whole. So in that way, it's invaluable. And that was my motivation, like I said, to do an MBA, and it still is. It's proved true, the motivation. In terms of your point when you said about when the pandemic hit, yes, obviously, like everyone, I think I was very, very worried. Worried about the business, naturally, and then also worried about how the MBA would be affected by this. Being construction, we had to find a way to carry on. So I really think what I was learning on the MBA helped me to start to apply business continuity practices. And again, just having these tools for business continuity was something I wouldn't have had prior to that. So it actually helped us in that way. It was learning and reading about different things of how to take your business through a challenging time that was really applicable, and that helped ease my uncertainties with the pandemic. But and with the MBA, like I said, I was quite nervous about how it would affect the whole program. But I have to say, the way the whole student support and everyone has managed it and been able to, I've not seen any real change or anything. I've been able to carry on. There's been no negative impact on the MBA, actually. So yeah.
Exciting. Rachel, now you just mentioned in the initial part of your question that you could see, even you realized when you're interacting with the senior person in your business line, you felt that there is a change coming in within your approach in accepting the subject. So I'm just curious to know, how soon did you notice this transformational change started coming in? As soon as you joined the MBA program? So how soon was that, if there is anything you would like to share?
I probably noticed it about maybe 2 months in or something. It's very early on, because you dive straight in, give yourself a few weeks to start getting your head around the material.
Really?
But like I said, I started in January. The finance module started in July. So already like a couple of weeks into the finance module, I found that change in terms of finance. So it's very, very quick impact on your career as well.
Brilliant. Thanks, Rachel. This is a very important input. In fact, if my audience have paid attention to this part, that when you start your journey of MBA, you need to give time for initial weeks to settle down with the program, with the modules, get the grip of the topics. And eventually you see the transformation starts happening. And we say the magic starts flowing. Thanks, Rachel. I'm keen to come to Monica, if I may. Monica, if you can unmute, thank you. Now that you are almost completing your glorious MBA journey with us, I can see there is a question coming from the audience as well. So I would like to put it this way: how did you manage your study time along with the work-life balance, looking at the kind of work you have been involved, looking at the kind of a family balance required? How well did you manage your study time?
Right. Well, this is a great question. And certainly I asked myself the same question before I started my MBA journey. Well, I won't sugarcoat it. So it's not easy, that's for sure. But in the same time, it's not impossible. And what I can share from my experience, so I started in July 19 and completed in December. So within 18 months, I completed the project and I had 3 roles at my work and I shifted companies. So if this was possible while doing the MBA, so it's not impossible. Now, how to juggle, how to do it, probably, in my opinion, it's key to prioritize, and then it's key to organize yourself, to set priorities and to be extremely organized. The very good part about the program is that it is flexible. And then the university is providing us with all the deadlines, all the course lecture dates, and all the material well ahead of time. And that gives you the opportunity to really plan your assignments, plan your work. So you might have busy times at work, for example, month end in my case, budget times. So if I know that I have specific busy times during certain periods of the month, then I will just make sure I will assign a program or a day or a week for the MBA, and I will stretch myself when I know I don't have busy times at work or some, I don't know, personal events at home. Well, it's really not easy, but it's not impossible. And then what I also can advise and share from my experience, maybe try to merge work, try to take a project from work and bring it in one of your assignments. That will help because you apply the practical, you apply the knowledge into your work, and it helps in both ways. And it really goes hand in hand. And Manchester is about learning by doing, and that's really great value for us. Now, when it's about family, yes, family might get frustrated at times, it's true. But even you just need to maybe involve them a bit as well sometimes. Why not? For the simulation project, for example, where we had to come up with a company to manufacture and sell cars. Well, you must know that my boys, they were following up on the on each ranking. Mom, how is your MBA project going on? Which rank are you in this week, and so on. So you just don't feel that they are left aside while you carry on for a period of time. And you just enter within this rhythm, and now after it's done, completed, I just feel sorry that it's no longer there. So I really want to go ahead with it.
Wow, that's quite inspiring, Monica, and it's a brilliant idea to merge. And that's actually one of an important takeaway from today's session, that if you can learn the technique of merging it out, involving the family, strategizing your work, probably, I guess this answers the question which has been asked by Ayaz from our audience, because he had a question on similar grounds, that how difficult it is to manage the various components when it comes to work, study, home, everything. Um, for the information of the audience out here, uh, as soon as you start your MBA journey with us, you will be assigned a dedicated student support advisor, and that person is going to shadow you for the rest of the 2 years. You will be reaching out that person for all your requirements, queries, concerns, invoicing for your fees, you name it, and you have that person who will be your point of contact to help you and assist you and guide you on those issues or on those concerns. So that's the benefit of having these international centers. We make it much more easier for you in terms of channelizing and keep going approach to your MBA journey. So I am still with you, Monica. I'm keen to know, after walking all this way, how was your student support experience?
Right, also a good question, and I think the audience might be interested in this. I really want to reassure everyone: the support the students are being given, it's really great, and it's just you to want to do things, and everything that you will be asking and you'll be requesting for, it will be really answered in a short period of time, and you'll be attended. And it's as you mentioned, it's the dedicated support that it comes from the regional center, and it's like a part of your family, because you get to interact, you get to ask for administrative things, then sometimes you ask for assistance maybe on technical matters, you always get back a response. And you also have the global MBA support that is in the background, and apart from that, you have for each lecture, you have support, you have virtual hours where you pop in, you ask your questions, you get guidance, and then you have the student community as well. And each and every student will share something with you. Again, I would say it's just a matter for you to want to do things, and you'll find a way around it. The university is having a great support.
Wow, that makes me so proud. Thank you so much, Monica, and I'm glad you had a great experience. Thanks, Monica. I'll come back to you. I'm moving further. Before I come to Syed, I want to give a little bit of a quick brief rather, to our audience. The Global MBA is a 24 months MBA program, but we do have something which is for 18 months. So for candidates with professional accountancy qualifications such as ACCA, CIMA, etc., we offer an 18 months accelerated finance pathway, and candidates with at least 8 years of senior management experience may have an opportunity to join the Global MBA Accelerated Program. Well, this is a closed multinational cohort, travel around the world to complete the program in 18 months rather than 2 years, though there's no difference in the fees. So yeah, that's the kind of categorization of 18 months MBA program. So Monica is again a part of Finance Accelerated MBA. And Syed, who is a part of Global Accelerated MBA. So Syed, I am coming to you now. I'm really keen to know. Well, I know that you were very, very prompt in completing your application process, and that was an experience in itself for you. I'm sure about it. But for the audience who's hearing you out for the first time, would you like to share with us how long was your decision-making process and your overall experience in submitting your application form?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Actually, what happened is that for me, I have been planning to do my MBA for so many years. Every year I'm busy and it was getting delayed. So I remember that on last 10 days of June 2020. So I preferred that no, it's too much late. I have to do it as quick as possible to get it completed. And then I was trying to search for MBAs, like 1 year MBA, like 18 months MBA, because I do not have so much time to wait for another 2 years. So then while searching online, I found around 4 good reputation schools from UK. University of Manchester was one of them. And when I looked at the program and the structure, and I decided that I should submit my application. So I submitted my online application straight to the Manchester center. And from there, I think they transferred my application to the UAE center because I never knew that there was a center available nearby just in UAE, so I can apply it there. And then from there, the student representative, they took my file, they communicated with me, and they helped me to complete the process. So you can imagine just like from 25th of June, and the course was starting on 4th of July, I remember. So it was just 9 or 10 days to complete the process, and it was done so nicely. In between, you need to have references from your managers or colleagues or whatever. You have to pass the language test, but it had been done in a way that I never felt that something is going a pressure on me, and it was done so nicely. And at the end, I joined the course on time.
Brilliant, fantastic. In fact, yes, it's one of the case studies for us in future references that it is possible if you have the real intention of starting up at the right time. We are there to assist our students to finish up their formalities, to make it more smooth, their application process. Brilliant. But Syed, I'm not done with you yet. I am still wanting to know, and in fact, I'm sure many of the audience will be keen to know. We just saw your introduction. We know you are working as a CFO, and you come with the required qualification for your job. Um, Coming from such a senior experiential background, you selected global accelerated and not finance accelerated. What made you decide on this?
Yeah, actually, this was because of two things. Number one is that, let's say, my education has been like 15 years back, 10 years back. So the time has changed a lot. There are a lot of technological changes. There are a lot of changes coming to the academic sort of syllabus. There are changes, especially in accounting and finance, like for example, the standards. We have seen that before it was standards from International Accounting Standard Board, but these now at the moment we are applying IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. At the same time, the fintech and technology, and there are a lot of things comes in place. So I rather prefer that since I'm already doing a job, I have qualification in finance, so why not to refresh it? So while refreshing, it will give me also the advantage that I will have at least one module easy for me to go quickly on this. So as Monica has said, the time constraints, so I can cope up with time. So at least there will be some relief. So I really advise these students that if whatever the background they have, they should go. Even I think there was a question on electives. Okay, so even when choosing the electives, it is preferable. For example, I have chosen the electives now in practical investing, the financial turnaround, and the private equity and mutual funding. So I just have chosen them just to complete further my portfolio on this. So if I have to move from here to another senior position, or if I plan to start my own business, so I really know what's going on in my life and what I have to do. So it was just a refreshing the what I have, and at the same time to use my expertise I have already to the course, and then make sure that it goes through smoothly.
Brilliant. So fantastic. Very brilliantly placed that being a position holder as a CFO, still this MBA is bringing forward to you the latest notions of the skills you have practically implemented in your work profile by now, and you are picking them up. You're polishing some of your concepts, and you're already envisioning and positioning your career as a next move or as an entrepreneur. That's an amazing input I heard from you. Thank you so much. I have a question from the audience. Monica, this question is for you. How did Monica do the overseas electives through the pandemic shutdown?
Okay, that's a good question as well. I would say I think I was one of the, our batch was one of the first ones that shifted from face-to-face to virtual. And I was one of the probably first one asking for virtual, because I like the face-to-face workshop. It's the best, it's option number one, but during pandemic times, I do not feel safe to travel. So I wanted to have the virtual workshop, and it went really well, actually. It's, of course, it's not the same, but it has good sides. The university organized this very well. I could not think that this was not planned ahead, because it was really smooth, and we did not have any issues. We followed the same structure as into the face-to-face workshop. I did not see any difference. Everything went into the same way. We connected, we've seen each other via the camera. We worked in groups. We have been assigned in groups. We have worked in groups in the same manner. We have completed assignments. We have delivered assignment at the end of the workshop. Basically, it's the same. It's just that you don't sit next to each other in the same room, but you sit at your desk. Maybe my personal concern before we had the first workshop was how engaged will be the other team members, because when you are face to face, you exchange a few words, you have a break, you connect you connect easier. So virtually, maybe we thought that is going to be a bit of it's going to be tricky, but no, I was really lucky. I had groups which delivered really well. And really, it was a great experience, and it prepared for this, what became today the new normal, even for work, for our routine daily work. And maybe as a piece of advice, even if something goes wrong, let's say with any of your groups, maybe someone has a bad day or a bad connection, or maybe does not really feel maybe, or not adding the effort that you are expecting, that's also fine, because you'll realize after you finish the workshop that you had to put a little bit of extra effort from your side, and you actually know more than what you would know without putting that extra effort, and you have a greater satisfaction. So either way, I think at the end, you have a great experience, which again helps us with the new normal that we are having today. So,
yeah, great.
Again,
Very well said, Monica. And just to connect this advice of yours with those who are still wondering what is this workshop we are referring to, in case if you are not aware. As I said initially, that all our programs are blended learning. So the MBA program, I'm just showing up this as an example. If you look at the program structure here, these days, which are highlighted in yellow, these are your workshop days, which in simple understanding means 3 times in a year, you will be coming up for face-to-face learning interaction. This is the time in a normal condition when there is no pandemic, life was normal, life is normal. The professors, they fly down to Dubai from Manchester, UK, and the entire cohort comes to Dubai from the rest of the Middle East. So this becomes an opportunity for our students to know each other by face, to know their professors, to interact and expand their networking. So this is the workshop days. The learning continues even after that. Once you finish your 4 days of July workshop, you go back to your places, start your work, resume your work, your office, and you know that you have the online classes scheduled with you, and you can accordingly plan it up. So this is what the workshop days are referred, and the question was for the elective days. If you see in second year, we have to pick up electives. So I'm going to come to electives a bit late, because I'm keen to come back to Rachel. Rachel, as now the discussion has already given indications to our students that we were initially having face-to-face workshops. Then with COVID falling in, we converted everything online and it became virtual workshop. But with the beginning of this year, we even came up with the option of hybrid workshop, which simply means for others who are as an audience, uh, we started up our workshop at a venue, and those who are able to come in person, they joined us at the venue. And for those who couldn't, due to any reason for that matter, travel restrictions or apprehension due to the pandemic, they joined us online at the same time via Zoom link. And we had professors who joined us from Manchester, UK. And at the venue, we had teaching assistants. They are our alumni, and they have been identified as teaching assistant by the university to moderate and help out the students who are meeting in person. So they are not taking the class per se, but they are the ones who are assisting the professors who are present online. So that's the hybrid version. So my question to you, Rachel, since you have experienced the three forms of workshops, how well you are connected with your cohort? That's a very important question, because that's where you feel that how am I going to connect with my cohort, my group members, and what kind of networking opportunities will I get? So would you like to share your ideas and views on it?
Well, yes, I find you are, and I have been very well connected with the whole cohort. You obviously, as you go into the workshops, whether it's virtually or whether it's face to face, you're meeting everyone, and especially the first workshop, they do icebreakers, and you get to know each other. So it's like first day of school. You get to meet everyone, and you kind of all see who, obviously maybe you form connections with people naturally and that kind of thing. So you have that initially. And then as you go through the program, for example, this year they gave us a student rep. We all voted for our student rep, and she's been very good at keeping the connections. So we have a WhatsApp group with our whole cohort, which has been really good. And it's not an overloading of messages on our WhatsApp phone, which is good, but we've, dishing out some messages, had conversations. So in that way, it's obviously so easy to keep connected through WhatsApp when we've all gone virtually. And the student rep as well, she plays a key role, I think, in keeping the connections going. And there's so many networking opportunities. I was surprised at how many there actually were. They're either arranged formally through the university, that's either a formal networking session, or there's lots of webinars and various other opportunities. If you go to the events page on Manchester, they're always listing different webinars of different topics. So that's a good way to keep connected through looking at those events. And also informally, like I said, through our WhatsApp group, we've organized our own networking sessions. So there's so many. You'll be turning down invitations, actually, I think, more than trying to find invitations for networking. So yeah, very well connected.
Brilliant. So it seems even if the human interaction turned online, the interactivity was the same. It's just that the mode of interaction changed. From across the coffee table, we came across the screen, and we continued interaction. Brilliant. I'm just building up on your point here, because there is a question in the chat box by one of the audience asking about the career opportunities. Yes, we do. One of the key requirement of applying for an MBA program with the University of Manchester is that you should be a working professional. But having said that, we have a very well-structured, dedicated career and net alumni department being led by Hiba Abbasi, and she ensures that she's providing all sort of opportunities related to your career, your personal growth, because she is a certified life coach as well. So she brings it on table for you in case if you are looking for transitioning your career industry wise, or looking for a vertical growth in your current industry itself, you know whom to reach out for. And she's the one who's going to brand build your profile, the LinkedIn profile, and try to bring the influential leadership eyes on your profile, and then she will guide you further. So I hope this answers your question. I'm not too sure the name of the person who has asked this, but yes, we have a dedicated channel to take care of your career growth as well, personal development as well. Fantastic. Thanks, Rachel. That is interesting. I'm moving back to Syed. I am still um, willing to know because Syed took that decision of joining in the peak of pandemic, that is July 2020. And we know what kind of an uncertainty was spread in the industry across the globe amongst many of us, in fact, major of us. Um, you were motivated to go for an MBA. I learned the reason of your decision making, that you wanted to learn up the latest notions. Uh, but how did you convince your own self that during the pandemic uncertainties, this is the right time? Would you like to share a few words about that? And I have a follow-up question, but let me hear you up for this.
Yeah, and Kita, actually, I have mentioned already because for me it was a plan for so many years, and then it got late, so now I have to start it. And when pandemic started, actually, so we basically knew that even while we were doing the planning and things for the company, so we just learned that okay, China was able to control the spread for in 3 or 4 months, so it won't go further along. For example, in Saudi, it started from March, okay, or April, and I think by July or August there was already a lockdown situation. So since I came to know that I have to work virtually now most of the time, so I prefer that I will find enough time and I can manage my job, I can manage my time working virtually. So there will be no time pressure from the office itself or from the direct interaction with my stakeholders. So I will have enough time while working virtually. So I decided to go for.
Brilliant. Indeed, in fact, it was a driving force for many of our students, Saeed, when they realized that we are going to work from home. So let's capitalize the flexibility of those working hours and utilize it towards self-development and qualification so that when everything resumes back, you should be flag bearer of some brand which is renowned and well known, and you will definitely be picked up uh, for some bright projects on the way. But my question to you, going further, it's nothing, not to do with the COVID though, but I want to know your experience with the ebooks as part of your study resource. How convenient it is for you?
Yeah, well, for me personally, I really like to go for digitalized version of books. Uh, Although the paper book, it can give you a lot of things. Okay, maybe it is something that you rely on. Some people they like to sit and read on, but the problem with the paper book is that it's not easy to carry always. So once it's the ebook, you can carry it in your mobile. Let's say if you went to hospital to check your doctor and you are waiting for the time to meet your doctor, so you can open the ebook immediately on your mobile and you can start reading. On the ebooks, actually, they are provided through the Vital Source bookshelf, and it's very simple interface to use them. There are a lot of benefits. You can create your own flashcards. You can create your own notes within the ebook. You can bookmark them, and then you can read them truly. Ebooks are easy to skimming for skim reading. So you can go from chapter to chapter, the topic to topic, whatever it's coming from the online lectures or for your assignment. So it's easy to search and find what you need, and you can cope up with. So for me, I think it was best experience with the ebooks. And then the best thing I like with the ebooks is that when you have to cite for the assignment, so you just copy the text, and once you paste it in the Word, so it gives you the citation already there. So there are advantages, disadvantages, but for me, I think the ebook is it's with you everywhere where you are. So I like them so much.
Brilliant. And I think that's how the world is shaping up with this alphabet E being tagged to everything you pick up, um, and the availability of this resource, as you rightly said, it is just inside your pocket in that device which you are holding, and you just have to pick it up, switch it on, and go through it. Thank you, Syed. I can see a lot of questions which are pouring in, which are related to electives. Just a quick brief for the audience. As you see this program structure in front of your screen, we do have electives as an integral part of our MBA program, which is to be chosen in second year of your MBA. And here are some of the list of electives which we offer. If I may just minimize this window so that it's available. So this is just a sample of electives which are being offered, and the list is very much made available in our brochures. And the good thing is you can pick up any of our international centers to study these elective workshop days with a prior registration, of course. And that's how this gives you an opportunity to expand your networking and meet the other cohort member as well. So I can see in the chat that there are questions related to the electives. So Monica, now that you have completed your electives, is there a general advice you would like to give in the selection of electives? How they should be deciding upon their electives, and any information which is precisely mentioned for the selection per se.
Right. Yeah. As you well said, the university is offering a large number of electives to choose from, and this is really great. And it gives every one of us an opportunity to customize our MBA journey, and that's really important. And now, in terms of choosing, you may as well choose something that it's already part of your background, of your area of expertise, if you want to go in more depth. But as well, you can go ahead and select a new subject that will take you into a new area of expertise. And it's good to do any of them. The subjects are structured in such manner that if you go for a new subject, you may be able to grasp very well the subject, as well as if you go into a subject that you already know, then you'll be able to go into depth of the subject. So it's really up to you and you can decide based on your goals. Now, in my experience, what I have done, I have chosen strategic business management, and that was my area that I just wanted to understand it better. Then I went for negotiation skills. This is good anytime, anywhere for everybody. And then the last subject was entrepreneurship, because at some point of time, I might believe that I might want to try to be an entrepreneur by myself. So this might help. So that's how I kind of tried one from everything. Now, it's really up to everyone. You have your goals and you establish, you want to go into detail on what you are already mastering, or you want to try something new. You might want to go for a new career path. This is your chance and you can customize the way you want.
Fantastic. Thank you, Monica. And in fact, we also try to give a quick brief by our professors who are taking up these elective sessions to give you an idea before you actually being asked to make up a decision in picking up your electives for the coming semester. So, and you are absolutely free to reach out to your student support advisor, asking them to extend the help in, interacting with the professors, or, the alums or the students who have already done this particular elective, to get an idea and then come to a conclusion of choosing the elective of your choice. Thank you so very much, Monica. Rachel, some time back, Syed was mentioning about the assignment work which was being done. So I want you to please share your experience. Just for a quick intro to the audience, all the modules which you see here, my bad, I'm sorry. All the modules which you see in the program, we do not have exams per se to evaluate you, but we assess your module knowledge based on assignments. So you will have assignments which will be individual assignments or group assignments, but the evaluation of your knowledge and learning on these modules is done based on it. So Rachel, would you like to give some advice to the audience or the future students, how these assignments, which are the integral part of module assessment, should be taken up?
Okay, well, the first and I think best bit of advice I can give is to, at the start of each term, mark up a diary or a calendar. That's what I did. I got a big calendar stuck to the wall of my study, and I just went through, found every single key assignment date and wrote them on there, and every lecture date. And so you can do, like I said, a big calendar on your wall, one on your desk, anything. But that's key, because you don't want the assignments sneaking up on you, especially at a time when you're quite busy at work. So keep on, and keep multiple calendars even, but just keep something there, so you are always able to glance at it and understand what dates are happening. So you can plan, you're going to have to plan your life around these assignments. If you want holidays or anything, you need to know. So plan the term in advance so you know where you're going. And as you said, the assignments, they come in the two forms. It's group work and individual assignments. If you think about group work, I think the best bit of advice I can give specifically for groups is turn up ready and prepared to do your share of the workload. So if you're in a group of 4, turn up ready to do, say, 25% and then plus a bit. You know, you're doing your share. And don't turn up and think, oh, I'm quite busy at work, maybe I'll take a bit of a back seat because, you know, I've got a group that can hold the end up for me. No, if everyone turns up ready and willing, the assignment, I promise you, will go so much better. It'll be so much more effective. You'll enjoy it more and it will run smoothly. And that it translates into the marks at the end of the assignment. So everybody show up willing to do their part, which is very true for your workspace as well. You turn up to work ready to do your part. And again, for the individual assignments, once you've got your group work out the way, you're on to your individual essays. And similar to what I said before, basically, it's read out what the assignment is going to be in enough time so you understand it. So whether you're someone who, however you work, if you work a bit more under pressure, or if you like to have it done weeks and weeks in advance, at the end of the day, everybody's different and you've got different methods of working towards your own essay, and that's absolutely fine. But however it is, make sure you've read and understood what is going to be expected of you in good time. So again, you're not caught out by surprise and you've not left it to the last minute and then you're panicking going, oh gosh, I need to read this, I didn't realize this. So it's planning is key.
Brilliant, Rachel. And there's a question which is there from the audience, maybe either you yourself or one of the panel can address. Did you do anything after you admit to the program and before the classes actually begin, like reading some kind of books or e-resources or material? Is there any kind of such actions helpful if one of you can share their experience?
I think for me, I found once you apply and once you're accepted, there's a pre sort of MBA reading and work to do, which is really good for getting you to understand what's going to happen. So I think once you're admitted into the school, get ready for all the prep work that's going to come and just do that. The university is very, very good at telling you what to read, at what stages and how much you need to do. So start off by following the class schedules you're given and do the reading and read the chapters you're told to at each stage. And like, so if you follow that, you can't go far wrong. From that, you may find you've found an interest in something, you want to read a bit further into a topic, and you can go that way. That's your own discretion. But they're very good at guiding you with what you need to read. So you won't be lost in thinking, oh, what do I need to do? So listen to the lecturers, listen to your schedules.
Brilliant talk. And in fact, that's a message to those who are have already been accepted by the university or who the application is under process. As rightly said by Rachel, once you are matriculated with the university, you get the access to the material, the e-resources, and that's a key for you to go through the pre-MBA, pre-workshop, reading material, and that gives you a more confidence. Not just that, just in case if you know that your work profile has a very demanding July, that quarter, it will be definitely. Yes, Said, I see you trying to say something. All right. Okay, cool. Brilliant. I am just conscious of time, and there is a lot to be discussed, but I will be taking an excuse from here. And before I move on to my ending slides, how about having a word of advice to our audience by the three brilliant and fantastic panel of mine? I'll start with you, Syed. What will be your final word of advice to my audience here?
I think there is the main advice is that nothing to get panic. The university and the program, they call it Manchester methods, and they really have know-how that they make you learn everything what you need. You don't need to worry. You are not alone. You are in the groups together. The teachers, they are very interactive. As we said, that you will have online lectures, plus now they started also the virtual office for each teacher. They come almost every 15 days, or every 10 days. Okay, they meet you. You have discussion forums. You have ebooks. You can write the emails to the teachers. So it's since as you have said already, that there is no exam pressure. So it's just because of assignments. If you follow the course, if you follow the dates, as Rachel said, so I think there is no issue at all. And then this is wonderful course. You will learn a lot of practical things, and then which will really put you in a position that you will know how to run a company, how to run a business, how to become a good manager. So all of good things happening there.
Thank you so much, Said, and that's very, very motivating indeed. Monica, what will be your final piece of advice before we move on to the ending slides?
Right. Well, I think it's just a great program, and it is great only because it is interactive, it is flexible, it gives you paths towards the electives, and then it has a triple accreditation. So it kind of ticks everything that you are looking for. And then I would say you won't regret it at the end. It might be challenging at the beginning. It gets easier as you progress through it, and then you'll end up as a different person at the end. And yeah, I encourage everyone who is really willing to put a little bit of effort for a period of time.
Brilliant, fantastic. Thank you so much, Monica. Rachel, I want to hear from you as well for my audience. What's your final piece of advice to them for the day?
My piece of advice mainly is to remember that it's your MBA. You'll hear a lot of people talking about the MBA journey, but just remember it's your journey. It's not anyone else's. So you sort of go with the electives in making it how you want it and doing the studies you want. But also don't forget that if you're going through any tough times, you're busy at work, talk to the student advice, talk to the student help, and they can help you plan out the MBA in a way that you need. So, and like, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Someone's going to do the MBA in their own way. They'll do the reading, they'll do the assignments in their own way. That's fine because that's their MBA. You need to settle into the routine and the path that you want, and just stick to yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone else.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And with these motivational thoughts and encouragement to proceed further and live your dreams, I move forward towards the ending slides of my presentation. And I would like to tell the audience, for those who have now got interested and have not yet started their interaction process with us officially, you can reach out to your program advisor individually. The application process is in front of you on your screen. You have to send your CV and speak to your program advisor to find out your eligibility to apply for it. There are certain application deadlines which we have to abide by. So you have to be very conscious about the timelines and make sure that you are working hand in hand with your program counselors to meet those deadlines without any rush onto it. It's an online application process, and the program counselors are experienced and trained enough to make every application highly competitive, because the admission process itself is very, very competitive. Once you submit your application form, you will be undergoing a Manchester admission test. The details will be individually explained to you by your program counselor. Just be mindful that you are not paying anything for the application form submission process, and neither for the Manchester admission test. We will not be taking any monetary commitment from the applicant until and unless we find you fit to our program. So you can just apply and even get an acknowledgement on your eligibility to apply for a university of repute. The final decision comes from the admission committee, which takes 2 weeks times, many times. Sometimes it's done earlier as well, but it is a time consuming process. So that is why we encourage those who are applying for the July should not wait any further and should immediately start your application process to avoid uninvited delays towards the deadlines of our form submission. Once you're selected, you will be receiving your application, your admission offer letter, and you will be joining us. The details of the program will be shared by the respective program counselor, and I'm towards the end of the presentation. The University of Manchester Middle East Center works hand in hand with Dubai Cares, which is a UAE-based global philanthropic organization, which was founded on September 2007 by Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and the ruler of Dubai. Dubai Care is playing a key role in helping achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4, which aims to ensure inclusive and quality education for all and promoting lifelong learning by 2030 by supporting programs in early childhood development, access to quality primary and secondary education, technical and vocational education and training for youth, as well as particular focus on education in emergencies and protracted crises. On your screen, you see the couple of programs which are being run by Dubai Cares, and we are working hand in hand with Dubai Care to adopt a school in Nepal. So I'll take a permission from all of you to run a very quick video, and then we will be closing this session. Please stay with me for this video. Fantastic. So if any one of you has an interest in joining hands with us for this social cause, please visit our website, www.manchester.ac.ae/SR social responsibility. And on that note, I am bidding a thank you to everyone. It is indeed a pleasure having you all on board, and special thanks to my very interesting panel for the evening. Thank you to the entire audience who have joined us. We are still open for your question and answers, be it related to the fee structure, be it related to the discounts and we are offering. Our program advisors are just an email, a call, or a WhatsApp away. Feel free to reach us out. And once again, thank you so much, Mr. Syed. Thank you so much, Monica. And thank you so very much, Rachel, for joining us this evening. It was amazing and wonderful talking to you all.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank you, everyone, and have a lovely evening. Stay safe and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.